added a fourth focus, which was we need to address workforce housing. We can't accomplish most of our goals in the top three without first addressing this issue of workforce housing. And this became of paramount importance to us because when we looked at the data, said, wow, we rank in the bottom three of Hawaii residents that own a home, only 54%. We rank in the bottom four of what Mr. Clark was talking about, household burden. The amount of income that our residents pay to pay rent or to pay a loan. We pay almost 50% of our total household income towards rent or towards a mortgage. This is despite the fact that we are the third lowest in the nation for subprime loans. So just under the normal loan scheme, we pay an inordinate amount of money for housing. This, of course, becomes why is that an issue? And as the speakers here have already said, what we already know, if median household loan to buy a home is $621,000, but your average elementary school teacher only makes $47,000, firefighter $49,000, our hotel worker $31,000, and LPNs in our healthcare industry are only making $44,000. There's no possible way that they're going to be able to afford a $621,000 mortgage, which disincentivizes them to either stay here or to recruit from abroad or Hawaii. This is also why you also see, according to census data, you see a large portion of our population aged 30 to 64 leaving the state, almost 20 to 1. And by the time we get people moving into the state from that age 20 to 29, about 2,300 people a year, we see an out-migration of those 30 to 64, those already trained, already have work skills, and their prime earning power, leaving the state, taking their skills and their money elsewhere. Again, this is problematic for the state because we know over the next 10 years, this was just published last month, that job growth is going to be 7.1%. We're going to have 48,840 new jobs by 2018. That's 5,730 new jobs each year. That's 16,000 jobs each year that's going to open up due to someone either resigning, retiring, or part of that 30 to 64-year-olds moving out of the state, finding a job and housing elsewhere. The majority of the job growth that we see of that 48,000, again, is primarily placed in education, health services, and in our hospitality industries. Those same occupations we just discussed 2 slides ago, they're only making at the most $50,000 a year. So obviously the problem is that in order to keep labor here, in order to train that labor, we have to do something. I am not a housing expert. I do not know affordable housing, workforce housing. It's all the same to me. The board, we added a housing advocate, named Daryl, to our board to help guide us through it. But the bottom line for us is for policy leaders, for people in this room, for private sector, you have to do something. And right now, we're basically teaching work readiness to a population from other states. We're training people here for skill sets in green energy, for housing and construction. We're basically training them to go work in California. We're training them to go work in Nevada. We're going to train them to work in South Dakota, where you can buy a 4-bedroom house for $122,000. That doesn't bode well for a state that wants to talk about economic diversification, that wants to talk about growing our workforce, that wants to talk about having a workforce for the 21st century skills. There's no possible way we can do that, grow our economy, if housing is the primary impediment to that. And again, our message that from our board that we want to convey to everyone here, policy leaders, is do something, do anything. You just got to bring the cost of housing down. Thank you.